And welcome to JoyNews Today. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air. We're on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. JoyNews, your home of independence, fearless and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, one person pronounced dead with 8 others, including a 5-year-old child, battling for their lives after a robbery attack last night in Walewale in the northeast region. We'll bring you more on this shortly in the bulletin. Also this afternoon, acute water shortage in the Tamale metropolis bite hard on hospitals and schools as MP says it is stressing those facilities. We are live in Parliament for more on this for you. Plus, the National Lottery Authority recovers some 6.1 million cedis locked up investment with Nsano Ghana Limited, a subsidiary of defunct Chienebak. We'll be bringing you more from Parliament. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces at JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Denana Aisha. Please do stay for details. One person has been pronounced dead with 8 others, including a 5-year-old child, battling for their lives at the Tamale Teaching Hospital following a robbery attack last night in Walewale in the northeast region. The attack was said to have been carried out by 3 armed men who arrived on motorbikes and opened fire at a busy bus station near the Nalerugo Junction before targeting a mobile money vendor. The vendor was shot as he attempted to flee, while 8 other people at the bus station were wounded by stray bullets. All the victims were rushed to the Walewale Government Hospital but were transferred to the Tamale Teaching Hospital. However, the mobile money operator, identified as Rabiu, has since been pronounced dead at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Correspondent Ilyasu Tanko joins us with more on this development. Ilyasu, what more can you report on this incident? Hello, Ilyasu. We've lost Ilyasu there. We'll try and bring Ilyasu back and to tell us more on this. The incident comes on the back of increasing reports of robberies across the municipality. According to police sources, the municipality has recorded close to 30 robbery attacks since 2021. The police say they do not have enough men and logistics to fight the robbers. We're also joined by the Municipal Chief Executive, Arimeya Osomolaki. Grateful for your time. First of all, this incident raises concerns with regards to the security situation in that area. What are you doing to ensure that this does not recur? I think we've lost Somolaki also on the line. Do we have Ilyasu Tanko? Ilyasu, if you can hear me, I want you to tell me more on what really happened and what the situation is right now.
Well, we understand 3 armed men arrive at this particular location, which is just almost in the center of the township, and then open fire at a busy bus terminal, which is just closer to the Nalerugo Junction area in Walewale. And then before targeting a mobile money operator who was just seated nearby, we understand that they took money from the mobile money operator, and when he was about running away, they fired at him. And then when they arrived, they initially opened fire to scare the people. So in the process, we understand 8 people were shot, and they have been rushed to hospitals in Tamale and Bolga as well. As we speak, unfortunately, we are just getting reports from the Tamale Teaching Hospital that the mobile money operator who was targeted and shot has been pronounced dead. We understand the 8 more people are currently receiving treatment in these 2 hospitals that I mentioned.
The police? Has the incident been reported to the police, Ilyasu?
Yes, we understand the police arrived. In fact, Where this incident happened is just some handshaking distance from the police station in town. So we understand the police arrived. We also understand the military also arrived because we know that the military has been carrying out a special operation on this particular road because of constant attacks by armed men. So the security forces, we understand, have taken over the situation. But there's a deep concern from residents because this is not the first time since 2021. According to our sources within the police, there have been close to 30 robberies that have occurred across this particular municipality. So as we speak, after 7 p.m., people are not able to travel in this particular community. In this particular municipality, I might say. So there's this concern from residents asking authorities to fix this particular situation.
We've been trying to get the DCE to speak on this, but it's been unsuccessful. But we hear that the police say they don't have enough men and logistics to fight crime in that area. What is the authorities doing about this?
Well, this is a call that the overlord of the area has made repeatedly to the state authorities, asking that the police in this particular area should be rooted, especially in the West Mamprose municipality, which is almost like the busiest municipality in this particular region. There have been constant robbery attacks, and as I speak, market women are not able to access the market in this particular municipality because of this particular attack. People are not able to travel at some point in this particular area. And the police themselves have made several calls for authorities to give them enough logistics, including vehicle, and also more men to be able to confront this particular challenge. But by all indications and from sources within the police, these particular calls are yet to be given.
Elias Tanko is our man monitoring events in the Northeast region for us. We'll definitely bring you more on this as and when we get it. Now, recent developments at the Medina Zongo and Race Junction footbridges have sparked some confusion within the community. Pedestrians who once celebrated the completion of the footbridge now find themselves in a battle with traders who have turned the footbridge into a bustling marketplace, exposing pedestrians to danger. Peace Vojogbe visited the area and has filed this report.
About 6 years ago, some residents of the Medina Adent area embarked on a demonstration over the installed footbridge. Their demand was clear: pressure the government to swiftly complete the footbridge that was under construction. This was due to the numerous road crashes on the highway. But now, traders are seen displaying merchandise, including clothing, food items, and toiletries, among many others, on the footbridge, designed to facilitate easy and safe crossing of the busy Medina Highway by pedestrians. Pedestrians expressed their displeasure with the activities on the footbridges.
Footbridge is meant for pedestrians. It's not meant for traders to trade on it. Those beggars on the footbridge, sometimes their children sometimes defecate on the footbridge, urinate and do sort of things, a lot of things on the bridge, which is not supposed to be. So for me, my view is that they should be taken out from here so that the footbridge will be, have enough space for pedestrians to pass through.
They don't have place for selling their items. So the best thing, maybe the Chinese we have here, maybe when you are passing the footbridge, people can pick you, even though you can't have a space, maybe you are passing, and it's really bad. Sometimes in the evening, most of the evening, the bad people and the good people there, but you can't identify them. They can pick you. The government should find a good place for them to sell. I think that one can help them, because when you start, they don't have anywhere to go.
Traders, on the other hand, defended their presence on the footbridges, citing economic necessity and the lack of alternative spaces for their businesses.
We know that what we are doing is wrong, but we have no choice but to sell to make ends meet. We understand the concerns of pedestrians and the government, but we need to earn a living. We have noticed people using the footbridge, so that is why we have decided to sell here. We asked the government to give us time to find alternative locations before taking actions against us. Traders are supposed to sell in the market, but there is no available space, and we can't continue to rent shops. That is why we continue to sell on the footbridge to make a living.
Residents are calling on the local authorities to get them a place so they can move from the footbridge to a conducive environment for trading.
The National Lottery Authority says it has recovered some 6.1 million cedis locked up investment with Insano Ghana Limited, a subsidiary of defunct Unibank. The amount is total revenue and profit generated from the NLA's short code gaming platform between 2012 and 2019. Appearing before the Public Accounts Committee this morning, Director General of the NLA, Samuel Wuku, said the authority will take a decision on whether to extend the contract with Insano Ghana after fully recovering the funds. I've been joined by James Aveji, who is on this beat for us in Parliament. James, what are the specifics of this contract?
Yes, Aisha. So this contract was signed between the NLA and the Unibank in 2012 to manage not only the online gaming short code, but also look at what they call rapid procurement. Those who use the online, we know that the NLA has moved some of its gaming platforms to some machines, and so those who load the machines to do this gaming, Unibank is supposed to manage this contract for them. And so we know that in 2017, when the new government came into power, there was some issue with some banks, and Unibank was one of those companies whose licenses have been revoked. Now, when you look at the Auditor General's report, it indicated that Unibank, which was contracted to do this, also contracted another company, which is a third party, a subsidiary of itself, to do this. That the Auditor General's report indicated was against the law, and because it did not allow for a third party to do this work. But the justification has been that, since this is a third party of a company that has been contracted, there is nothing far-fetched about that contract, and so that issue had been resolved. The main issue raised in the report was that this money, the NLA has not been able to take steps to, first of all, abrogate the contract when this bank was defunct, and two, they haven't taken any step at the time to retrieve the said money. But today, the Director General indicates that the full amount of some 6.1 million Ghana cedis has successfully been retrieved from Unibank, despite the fact that their licenses have been revoked, Aisha.
So the NLA also makes a point about some improved revenue from their online gaming system. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so that is also, according to the Director General, coming out of some successful renegotiation with these people. So this is also another contract for those who do the mobile gaming. There is this, they call it 590 gaming, which you can use your mobile phone at home to play lottery from the comfort of your home. Now, this platform, we are told by the DG, is also being managed by some 3 entities. Now, those entities, he said, when he came into office somewhere in 2017, 2018, they were making in 2021, they were making, the money is being remitted to the NLA was in a total of some 25 million Ghana cedis. But he thought that, there should be more to be done about it. And so he went into some sort of renegotiation with these 3 companies managing this platform. They said within 6 months in 2022, the amount has improved from 25 million Ghana cedis to some 15 million Ghana cedis. Then he went into another renegotiation again to get some more improvement. And he says that as at last year, 2023, there's been another improvement from 51 million Ghana cedis to 91 million Ghana cedis been total revenue generated from this online gaming platform, he said. And the auditors present at the committee also ascertained this, that yes, it is true that there's been some improvement in revenue generation by the NLA on this platform.
So we also know that the ECG has been before the committee. What more do we know about this?
So some two key infractions came up. One was some money is being spent in the ECG's Volta regional headquarters that has not been supported by payment vouchers amounting to some 62. In fact, it was in a total of over 600,000 Ghana cedis. The Auditor General's recommendation was that they get payment vouchers to support these expenses. They have been able to get that, but some 62,000 Ghana cedis has not been supported. Now, the Auditor General's recommendation is that they needed to get this. Failure to do that, officers or managers at the ECG in the Volta region would have to repay back this money from their own pocket. The chairman of the Public Accounts Committee has directed that the ECG gets the payment vouchers within the next 2 weeks to support this expenditure. Otherwise, they would have to pay from their pocket. Also, in the Western region, over 275,000 Ghana cedis of procurement had been done without VAT expenses. And so the chairman also directed that they either get the companies that have been involved in this procurement to produce VAT to support this, or they pay the VAT remittances that they were supposed to pay to the GRA on this procurement of over 250,000 Ghana cedis to the GRA. And so they've also been given 2 weeks to execute this. Other than that, they would have to take another decision on the issue.
James Kwesi monitoring that for us with those details from the Public Accounts Committee. Let's still stay with Parliament, because former Minority Leader and MP for Tamale South, Haruna Idris, is demanding urgent action to address the acute water shortages in the Tamale metropolis. In a short statement on the floor of the House, Mr. Idris explained challenge has put hospitals and schools, especially in Tamale, under stress. Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante joins us via Zoom with more. Kweku, what has been the response to the Tamale South MP's demand?
Well, unfortunately for Haruna Idris, he hasn't gotten any response because the ministers were not on the floor at the time this issue happened. But he's raised that issue, and he's insisting that he needs some answers. There's a lot of hospitals and schools in Tamale that are under some severe strain because of this specific issue, and he wants that to be addressed. But MP for Bodi Samson, and he who is the former Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, Deputy Minister, I should say, under John Dramani Mahama, has been imploring the National Security and the Ministry for Works and Housing and Water Resources, actually as it is now, to move into Tamale with the tankers that they have to supply water to these communities. According to Haruna Idris, there are so many communities in Tamale who have not had water flow through their tap for years. And so this is something that he expects will be addressed immediately so that people in Tamale can get some respite. Of course, other MPs in Tamale, Murtala Mohammed and Suhini, also waded into this issue about the struggle that their constituents have to go through to access very basic service like water. So, Aisha, that has been the state of play in terms of this water situation, as was raised on the floor by Harry.
We've seen a video of near fisticuffs between Kennedy Japan and Sylvester Tete on the floor of the House during today's proceedings. What really happened?
Well, Aisha, we can't confirm the specific details. There are a lot of rumors going around now. But as you can see in the video, Alexander Penyomaki, the Deputy Majority Leader, walking out Sylvester Tete so that the MPs do not exchange blows. Kennedy Japan was clearly furious. He had just accosted the Member of Parliament for Botiano English Mount Hope. The two gentlemen were exchanging floors in the middle of the sitting. While sitting was actually going on, MP for Asofa was on the floor delivering a statement, and the two gentlemen were having a go at each other. And so the Deputy Majority Leader, sensing that if the situation was not addressed immediately, there could be the exchange of blows, actually walked up right up to where the gentlemen were, dragged Sylvester Tete outside of the chamber. Kennedy Japan at that time did not follow suit. He just walked back to his chair. He was very frustrated about the turn of events. Okaikwe Central MP Patrick Boama came to sit by him later on. They try to calm him down. We understand this is some monetary issues. Someone owes some man. Someone is asking the other person to go to court. Of course, we can't confirm the details now, and we are still putting our ears to the ground to be able to get as much information as possible. But Aisha, what I can tell you is that if not for Afenyo Makin exchanging, coming between these two men to actually separate them, one person would have probably thrown his hand, and you see there, Patrick Boama coming to Kennedy Japan. We try and listen to what exactly might have happened. We try and calm him down to say that, listen, we are all from the same side. We need to calm down. We need to address these issues when we can. But it was near fisticuffs, like you said, and the two MPs were nearly having a go at each other. Had it not been for the deputy majority, they are coming in between them and separating the two men.
What other business is the House conducting today?
Well, there's been a statement on girl-child education in science. There's also been some referral on about 300 million concessionary loan agreement. There are a lot of committee meetings happening on the sidelines. We just had James Abedi tell us about the Public Accounts Committee. There's also a lot of committees that are sitting. In fact, because the House just resumed, this is the second week of sitting, the agenda is a little light, but there's still a number of things happening on the floor. And this near fiscals in the House have shown a little bit in terms of what exactly has happened, a bit into off gear. But leadership are trying to resolve the situation so that business can proceed as usual.
Kwekwa Asante is our parliamentary correspondent. He'll be bringing us more from today's proceedings, and we'll be showing that to you in our subsequent bulletins. Let's get more on administrative workers and other academic activities. Administrative work and other academic activities are back in full operation on the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology campus after the Senior Staff Association of Public Universities called off its industrial action. Laboratories and other teaching facilities in the school, which were shut for close to 2 weeks, are now accessible to students pursuing science-related programs for practical sessions. Meanwhile, the Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana, TEU, has refused to call off its strike despite the government meeting some of its demands. My colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku is on the campus of the KNUST. He joins me with more. Emmanuel, what more can you report from the campus? We understand classes are in full session now.
All right, so Aisha, as rightly mentioned, classes are full in session here on the KNUST campus. As you can see some of the students going to class. They just returned from a short break during their lecture hours, and they are heading back into the classrooms for lectures. But as you may recall, the Senior Staff Association here on the KNUST campus usually would comprise of those are the administration officers and also some laboratory workers. So when I came here on campus, I realized that laboratories that were closed some 2 weeks ago, now the students can actually access these laboratories. So when you go into some of the classrooms or the laboratories, the students are sitting right there and having a practical session. That's for those doing the science-related courses or health programs. And also, I monitored the libraries. In some of the colleges on campus, some of these libraries have been opened for the students to access them. But when it comes to janitorial services and even security, I've monitored and I've realized that some of these security men are those under the Tertiary Education Workers Union of Ghana. That's TEU-GH, the security men are post. But when it comes to sanitation on campus, some of these colleges have their dustbins still full. You have the refuse piling up at some sessions on campus. But generally, classroom activity on campus is now full in section, Aisha.
What's the situation with members? You've just talked about sanitary situation that is getting bad because TEU is refusing to call off its strike. What more is the situation in terms of TEU refusing to call off its strike?
All right, so we interacted with Charles Arthur, who is the local chapter over chairman of the local chapter over here, and he says that until the government actually meets their demands, they are not returning back to work. So, as I rightly mentioned, piles of refuse, in some sections, you can find the refuse over there. So, until the government meet these demands. Already they've met some of the demands, but they are saying that until they meet the full demands, they are not coming back to work. But hopefully, we are praying that something will be done so the students here on the KNUST campus do not reel under the impact of the industrial action.
Bright Kwaku with that update from Kumasi. There's more we'll be bringing you as and when we get from the campuses of the universities as a strike of two still continues. The dream of every Ghanaian parent is to see their children through school and guide them to become responsible adults in future. But that is not the case of Emmanuel Sakwa, who lost his dad at a young age and has fended for himself ever since. The brilliant senior high school graduate who dreams of becoming a medical doctor someday now finds himself on the streets of Accra, working 2 jobs to cater for himself and save some for future to further his education. My colleague Kenneth JC has more.
The traffic jam in most of Accra's busy highways usually frustrates commuters, as long productive hours are wasted in traffic on a daily basis. But that is where some traders also earn a living. They showcase their items to commuters when the gridlock starts to build, and sometimes chase after moving cars when a passenger tries to purchase an item just when traffic begins to ease. 24-year-old Emmanuel Sakwa is one of such people. The SHS graduate works 2 jobs, selling plantain chips in traffic and recording the number of imported cars that have just been retrieved from their containers at the Tema Harbour.
I just completed SHS as 2021. So this is what I normally do to earn some money, because you can't just be in a house or you can't just go and steal. As a man, you need to work, you need to, find something to do so that you get something for yourself. As well as having a family to, most of the times, your parents may need some help from you so that you can also help. So some would say it's hard, but we are able to go through Christ.
Emmanuel, who originally comes from the central region of Ghana, lost his father at a young age. He moved to Accra to seek for a better future. Not knowing anyone in the capital, Emmanuel lived in a rented kiosk, as it was the cheapest form of accommodation he could afford. He now lives at the church he worships, with a dream of becoming a doctor someday. Emmanuel is saving some of the monies he earns from his 2 jobs to further his education.
It's my dream of becoming a doctor, and I know that will take a long way in the school, but as long as I was able to pass well, at any moment I will be able to go to school. It's not easy, so I just have to take time, then plan well and save as well, so that if I'm able to enter, I may not go through difficulties in terms of any money issues or any stuff. So I've lost my dad, and my mom is alive in the central region. So I stay in a church. Not long. Let's say that was last year. I was staying in Accra here at some place, so I got the chance to stay at the church. That was what I really could.
Emmanuel explains how he is able to combine 2 jobs.
I work at Tema. It's a shift work, so you go for day 1 week, night 1 week, then you go for off. So when I'm on night, the daytime too, I used to sell something. So when I'm in the morning, that's when I don't come here to sell. So it's night and then off. That's what I get time to sell this.
Emmanuel Sakwa performed very well in his WASSCE exams. He had 6 A's, 1 B, and a pass. He remains hopeful that he'll make it someday, so he can take care of his mother and siblings and further his education to become a medical doctor who will help save lives. Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
We're still live on JoyNews Today. We're coming to you from our studios in Kokomlemle on the fan of our streets. Let's take a break. When we return, there's business.
Welcome. Let's do some business news with me, Emma Davis. Entrepreneurs in Ghana's creative arts industry are asking government to do more to support their operations. According to the project manager for arts and culture at the British Council, Andrew Ntua-Mensah, more investors in the sector will contribute immensely to Ghana's economy. Here's more.
I think when you ask every creative, or if you ask everyone in the business or somebody who wants to come up with an idea or business, the first thing is funds. And we look at funds not being the only challenge. The other challenges that we feel are the skills and capacities that the creative should have in order to put out their product and services out there. Talk about marketing, talk about online tools to, probably get access to customers, customer service and stuff like that. So these are the challenges that we feel that creatives have. And then the opportunities to network and leverage and collaborate with each other. One of the things too I realize is that a lot of creatives work in silos. There is no collaboration within the creatives and people want to work on their own. So we feel that when these are surmounted and people begin to work together and leverage on the skills and capacities that each person has.
Some stakeholders are advocating more investments in Ghana's technical and vocational education training. According to Principal of the Explorers School, Catherine Kati, this is key to improving the skills of students. She spoke to Joy Business at the Explorers Primary School launch.
According to these stakeholders, technical and vocational education training provides more lasting solutions to employment in the country than many of the government employment initiatives.
Ever-changing world. What is there today might not be there the next day. So ICT is very important to us here at Primary Explorers. Through programs like the Scratch program, the children are able to create an interface where they design their own projects, and with the help of their instructors build on and are being instructed on what to do with their projects, helped on improving, and also applauded when they are able to work on their projects.
Founder of the Explorers School, Camila Kepalani, commended government in its quest to expanding TVET.
Explorers Schools has actually been in operation for 19 years, but this is the first year that we operate as Explorer Schools. We were always a preschool named Little Explorers, and we're having a great time when our parents were quite insistent that we carry on the journey.
That'll be all for business. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Emma Davis. Please stay for the rest of the bulletin.
Let's do sports now on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. President Akufo-Addo has commissioned the Boteman Sports Complex, one of the facilities constructed to host the African Games 2023. The facility, which will be hosting about 10 of the 29 sporting disciplines expected to happen between March 8 and March 23, was commissioned earlier today at Boteman, and about 5,000 athletes will be assembling in Ghana, and according to the president, the event is expected to bring at least 2.2 billion people, both on social media and on television, to Ghana for the African Games. He believes that this is an event that is expected to market Ghana to the rest of the world. The competition will start on March 8, and the football for the event will also be starting on March 9. That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com and also at 2 p.m. when we come your way with sports today. We appreciate your time.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline Ansumayewa. Now, Beyoncé has announced details of her new album, Act 2, and released the first 2 songs from the upcoming record. Queen Bee appeared in the Super Bowl commercial that featured during the game night for Verizon, in which she attempted a series of firsts in a bid to prove she could break the internet. As the advert ended, she tried one last move: drop the new music. As Valentine's Day approaches, love takes center stage on your superstation Joy 99.7 FM with a much-anticipated event, Proposal on Joy. Imagine the enchantment of a carefully crafted setting surrounded by your loved ones as you walk in with a ring, ready to embark on a journey that never ends. It's a surprise of a lifetime, and the key is to keep it under wraps. Well, Joy FM Programs Manager Eden Naite said that the stage is set and they are collaborating with the winner to turn the stream proposal into a reality.
2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, you opened entries for the Proposal on Joy. How is that going so far?
It's gone well. Let me just say, it's gone well. Yes, like you rightly said, we opened for entries, and we were saying that if you have been seeing somebody for some time and you're planning to propose to them, why don't us, help you do it on Valentine's Day? Because, well, you may be planning to do it some other day, but if Joy FM is coming on board to help you, then let's do it on Valentine's Day. And yes, we got a lot of entries. A lot of people wanted to do this with us, and so we had to scale the numbers down, and then we were left to the final 5, and we had an interview. Now, there hasn't been so much about this on the radio, also because we wanted to be a surprise to the lady, and so we had to set up a panel to interview all the people who sent in entries, at least after we looked through and we came down to the top 5, and then we did that. Then when we finished, we compared notes and everything, and then we settled on a couple.
What are we expecting?
Oh, we are expecting love, beauty, and a lot of affection. And I have been saying, if you follow that, I haven't attended any of these before, and my husband obviously didn't propose like that as well. He did something, but not all these beautiful ones. So I'm looking forward to witnessing it myself. And so there are so many expectations around, and we're praying and hoping that it goes well.
So where is this happening tomorrow?
Okay, so we have partners who are supporting us to do this. It's happening at Labadi Beach Hotel, and this time we're setting up on the beach. Yes. We have Proposal GH. They're a team an organization who usually will put these things together for people. So we're partnering them, and they are looking at the whole setup and helping us through the surprise moments and everything. And then we have HDFA. They have some wonderful packages that they'll be giving out to the couple. And we also have Motorola on board. They tell us that they're going to present one of the beautiful iconic phones to the lady, not the guy, unfortunately. And then they have some activities as well. So it's not just going to be the proposal. We're going to have, cocktails and all that. And then they're bringing Spin the Wheel, where lovers can spin the wheel and win phones. We also will set up a beautiful Knowing Me, Knowing You among the other couples who will be there. And then they also get to win some phones and hampers as well. So the proposal is what we are expecting. But because there will be other couples there, we'll do some other, fun couple activities, and then they go home with prizes.
What about the singles? It looks like you left the single ones out. Are they also invited? Who knows? Maybe someone might be there to find love.
Okay, so we did say that if you want to be there, you should send us messages via our numbers 05511 for the sake of this conversation, we can still make room for 2 people, If you're single and you still want to come, why not? You send us a message, we'll give you an invite. But sometimes it gets some way when people are, loving up and everything, and you're there all by yourself.
Well, just as you heard from her, the singles are also not left out. It's a wrap for the showbiz segment. But Aisha, I hope you'll be going tomorrow.
It's quite interesting. But my question is, what if the lady doesn't accept your proposal? What happens?
That is going to be a big story.
So would you still give the lady the phone Because I hear there are surprises.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff.
Proposed to. So if he proposed,
we'll take our thing back. We just take it back because he didn't accept.
What kind of life is that? That's how we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjournline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. To enjoy the rest of our programs.